Welcome back to MS Tech. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a keyboard which is very similar and could potentially be an alternative for the Apple Magic Keyboard. Now, we thought, you know what, the Apple Magic Keyboard comes in at $120 and there must be different alternatives out there on Amazon which you can pick up for cheaper. And we thought, you know what, it's our job to test it out, see how it is, to see and let you guys know if it is actually an alternative and if it's worth it or not. So today we have the Periboard 325, which comes in at only $59 compared to Apple's Magic Keyboard, which comes in at $120. So let's take a look to see if it's worth it or not. Now, starting off with what you get inside of the box. It's genuinely pretty simple. You just get the keyboard itself. That's about it. So on the face of the keyboard, you do have an all aluminum build, and on the sides you do have a chamfered edge, which is a very nice touch as it makes it look very sleek. Now, if we flip the keyboard over to the other side, we find 5 rubberized feet, and you can already see that the keyboard is raised a bit for more of an ergonomic typing experience. And you also have 2 more raised feet with rubberized tips, which is nice to see so the keyboard doesn't slide around like a hockey puck. Now, if we look at the front of the keyboard as well, you can see that there are 2 USB-A ports, which I was genuinely surprised to see that it had this because there's only one USB connecting when it connects it to your computer, but there's 2 extra ports that you can have, just in case if you want to have a USB receiver or even a USB in general. Now, if we look at the face of the keyboard again, that's where you see the switches. And these switches are knockoffs of Apple's scissor switches. They're very silent, and I would even go to the extent of saying they're quieter than Apple's. And personally, I really like them. They have little grooves inside of each keycap to make it nicer when you're typing on them, and your fingers can rest there a lot more naturally. And on certain ones of the keyboard, there are grooved outwards, which I don't exactly know why it's grooved outwards, but again, it's a nice touch. Now, to give you guys a better idea of what the keyboard sounds like, here's a quick sound test. When it came to build quality, there was a bit of flex on it, as you can see, but then again, you're never going to be flexing this keyboard really to this extent. You're just going to casually be typing on it, so it should be able to last a long time. And this keyboard does come in a plastic variant and an aluminum variant. The plastic one is $20 cheaper, but personally, I'm very happy that I got the aluminum one over the plastic one, because this one you can see it's built different and it's built a lot stronger. Now, this keyboard also does have some backlighting on it. It's not the best backlighting for the reason that if you look closely, you can see it's almost as if there's certain hot spots on the keyboard where it's brighter, whereas other ones are not as bright. And that's not what you typically want to see when it comes to backlighting. But the fact that it's backlighting, I guess it's good. Now, overall, compared to the Apple keyboard, not only are you saving almost half the price of the Apple one, but you're also getting 2 USB extension ports, just in case if you want to have that. You do have some backlighting, which isn't the best, but it's still better to have. And these switches are very similar to Apple's, so it's almost as if you're getting the same experience for half the price. Personally, yes, I do know that this is wired, whereas the Apple ones isn't wired. And in my opinion, that isn't the biggest issue, because if I was to be using this keyboard, I'd be sitting at my desk all the time typing, and it's not like I'd be carrying this keyboard around in my backpack or running off with it somewhere else. So the wired wireless aspect of it isn't a really big deal for me personally, but it could be a deal breaker for someone else out there. Now, if there's a couple things that I would improve from this keyboard, it'd definitely be the backlighting. I'm not the biggest fan of the spotty backlighting. I would like to see a more uniform backlighting, but aside from that, everything else is built fairly well, and for the price that you're getting it at, it's very fair. But overall, I'm really happy that I saved $60, got this one instead of the Apple keyboard, because they're pretty much the exact same thing. The only difference I could see is you don't get Apple stickers when you buy this, nor is there an Apple logo anywhere on this. Aside from that, the experience is pretty much the same. If you want to pick up one of these keyboards for yourself, the link to that is in the description below. And if you stuck around till the end of the video, a like and subscribe is greatly appreciated. It genuinely helps the channel grow day by day. This has been MS Tech, and as always, stay classy.